I slept with the golden bachelor every girl dreams of marrying, but he thought I was a woman throwing myself at him and warned me never to show my face to him again. I left helplessly and gave birth to twins. I decided to raise the children on my own and never tell him, but a year later, we unexpectedly ran into each other in the same elevator. I never expected to find myself standing in front of the Welton Group Tower. I hadn't realized that the fashion design agency was located here, or that I might run into Evan again a year later. The same building, the same man, but desperate for the job, for the money. So, I gathered every ounce of courage and walked into the Welton Group Tower. If I ran into him, I could always turn around and leave. I had no fantasies left where Evan was concerned. That ship had sailed a year ago. I took a deep breath and walked toward the lobby. The elevator ride was quick, and I pressed the button for the 10th floor. That's where I needed to be. Suddenly, there was a commotion in the building. A group of well-dressed men appeared on the first floor, heading straight for the elevator, the leader of the pack. None other than Evan Welton himself. The moment he stepped into view, gasps echoed through the lobby. Every woman around was caught off guard by his presence, his looks, his charisma. He had it all. He was perfection embodied. I used to be one of those women, but not anymore. I knew better now. Evan still believed I'd set him up, and honestly, I didn't want to be anywhere near him. So, I stood still, trying to keep a low profile as the elevator door slid shut. Just when I thought I was safe, I caught the scent of his cologne, familiar and intoxicating. My heart skipped. The last thing I needed was for us to get stuck in the elevator together. I didn't want him recognizing me, but before I could step out, the doors closed. Evan's gaze landed on me, and his face tightened. You again? What are you up to this time? I froze. Of course, he remembered me. I opened my mouth to say something, but the words didn't come out right. Finally, I took a deep breath and spat out the first thing that came to mind. Nothing. You think too highly of yourself. I'm not interested in you at all. The look on his face darkened immediately. Clearly, he wasn't used to being spoken to like that, especially not by me. I suddenly realized my words might have been too harsh, but it was too late to take them back. I stood stiff, not daring to move. Evan's anger was palpable, but after a moment, he seemed to push it down. He wasn't petty, I could tell that, but the things that had happened between us, it wasn't something he could just forget, not easily. Anyway, you're lucky I'm not the type to hold grudges, he finally said, his voice cold. But you framed me, Anya, you slept with me. I can't just let that go. I stiffened at the mention of that night, the one I'd spent replaying in my head for far too long. I wanted to explain so badly, but it wasn't the right time. I wasn't ready to relive that nightmare, so I stayed silent. Evan's tone grew more intense. I don't want to see you again, ever. That was the last thing I wanted to, but life had its way of pushing me into places I didn't want to be. After sending dozens of applications, this was the only company that had given me a chance. I kept my gaze low, avoiding his piercing eyes. I understand, I murmured, you won't see me again. The ride-up felt like it lasted an eternity, but finally, Evan spoke again, his voice harsh and commanding. Move out of my way. I hadn't even realized I was standing too close to him. In my attempt to retreat, I took a step back too quickly and twisted my ankle. In a split second, I lost my balance and fell forward. My face smacked Evan's groin squarely and hit something. It was rod hard.